Okay, so this is Kiram with Massive Effect Marketing.com. We make your website go from this to this. Today we're taking a look at an e-commerce store, G&G Vitamins, the wonderful G&G, the original G, the OG, and let's see what we can suggest to improve the conversions on this e-commerce store. As you can see, there's not a whole lot happening on the homepage. Just takes one scroll, couple quick scrolls, and you're through the whole thing. There's quite a bit we can add to pimp this out. So let's get started. So first things first. So it's a tad. It could be a tad organized better. I would like to see this free shipping notification done a little differently. A cool way of doing it is over here. You just make a separate bar for it like this, right? And that way you're going to get the attention, and that way you're not competing for attention with the logo and the navigation. Right now this is kind of like a little bit cluttered happening over here. So let's get a separate announcement bar just like that for the very top. Add another row and then put your free shipping right there in the middle. Very smooth. That would be nice and smooth. Moving on, we've got the big hero shot, as they like to call it, right here, this slideshow with the big, nearly full screen promo, and it goes on and on. We'll talk about that later. This could be optimized as far as the text that's in here. It could be a little more thought out with talking about their value proposition. In other words, we help solve problem X with solution Y, so we give you desired result Z, something like that. So that would go a very long way in enlightening the visitor to make sure they're with the right place, with the right company, what their needs are going to be met. And as we scroll down, we go right into the categories, which is fine. But one thing we're really missing here is some third-party recognition, right? If you've never heard of a vitamin company before, just put yourself in the position of the visitor. You've never heard of a vitamin company before. What's the likelihood of you landing on their page and buying, right? You click on an ad, or you see a post in the socials, you click on it and you go to the site. What's the actual likelihood of you buying something? Not too high, because you've never heard of them. You're going to need a lot more interactions, a lot more future interactions and engagements to warm up to the prospect of buying with this company you've never heard of. So one thing you can do to help accelerate all of that is trust logos, and they have certifications, all right, from some really wicked bodies here. And let's see if they have some images of them. No, not here. Either way, let me try sourcing. How about sustainability? Nope. And we'll try this one, and then we'll give up. Okay, so there used to be some really cool logos of various businesses that, let's see, here we go. Right, so Vegetarian Society, Soil Association, Organic, HFMA, AIB. These are various bodies that have, they either have a membership with them, or they're a governing or some sort. And when you land on the website, if you see that, then you're going to know that they're more legit, right? So you would put something like our partners, or memberships or licenses, or whatever that is, whatever makes sense. You should put those right up front. That way, when somebody lands on here, they feel assured that you've been vetted, so to speak, right? You're going to be ingesting these vitamins. You're going to want to feel that you know, it wasn't made in somebody's basement in a farm in China, right? So adding trust logos is key. So let's get those added right over here. And then we've got categories. That's great. The one thing with these categories, although they look cool and I like how they look, the photos are very rich and they're a bit distracting from the text. And the text is the most important point of these. All right, when somebody sees the images, they're not necessarily going to think of this. So we want more accent on the wordage. And that might mean putting some more space in between all these and laying it out a little different. But that would be one modification there. I would also consider, what are the most popular reasons that people are coming here for, and make sure that all 6 of these are those, right? Maybe by research they find out that it's mostly, women's health and pregnancy vitamins is their, majority seller. Well, then they should make sure that they have one of these be something like that, right? So that is key, and then space them out so it's a little more digestible. It's a little too compact right here. That would be good. Another thing that's missing to build legitimacy and build trust, because that's the major issue with something like this. You're landing on this vitamin shop. You're not going to buy unless you trust. Another thing you want to add are some vital statistics, some hard numbers. For instance, how many years have they been in business? How many vitamins have they sold? How many customers have they sold to? How many pounds of turmeric have they, sold? Whatever it is, how many tons of, etc., etc. Some actual numbers to show the longevity of the company and their production, right? Number of supplements they sell, number of years in business, that kind of a thing. Number of customers. Can't really go wrong with those 3. And so then you would put that there, kind of like this. Simple row with 3 columns, right? And just put some numbers so people can see, oh wow, yeah, these guys have been around. These guys have been around for since 65, and you wouldn't know unless you went into About Us and you did some digging around, right? And this is key information. This is like, if you've been around that long, that needs to be all over your homepage. And right now it's not very promoted. And that's going to build a lot of trust. So you would want to feature that on the homepage, how many years they've been in business, right? Even if it was written in here, they've been in business, for 60 years, it's not noticeable enough. You actually have to make a section like this, 3 columns, 3 numbers, 1 number in each column, all right? That's going to build some more trust. So then we continue on. Again, another point, this is cool that we have this person here in this video. I would consider changing this around a little bit. This is fine. Let's get a photo of the owner and actually say that it's the owner, like right here, or a manager or a supervisor or somebody in the company who can put their face here and put their name, and that way that's going to humanize it a little bit more. We have somebody in this video, but we don't know just by looking at it, right? We can't make any assumptions, like this could be an actor, although it's not. This person does work for this company, but we don't know. So you should really put a photo of the person here, put their name, and then that's going to build some more rapport, because you can't fake people, right? You can fake with generic stock photography and all that business. But if you put a real person there, it's going to build a lot more trust. You're going to look a lot more legitimate. And at the end of the day, people do business with people. So let's get a person put over there. Keep the video. The video is great. I don't know if I would have it full screen like that. But, no biggie. And then we hit the footer and it's done. So there's a lot more that can be done on this homepage. Again, you're landing on this vitamin company. You've never heard of them. Are you ready to buy? No, you're not ready to buy. You need to be enlightened. You need to be coaxed. And there's some more things we can do. You're going to have some things on your mind, some objections that are going to be keeping you from actually buying anything. For instance, I've never heard of you before, right? That's a valid objection, right? I've never heard of you. I don't know where you guys get your vitamins. I don't know where your sourcing is. They have a whole page on it, but I don't see it on the home page, right? Even if it's written in here where they source it, people don't read. So you have to really display the data as if like a 6-year-old is looking at your website. Everything has to be separated out. A great example of what not to do is over here. And let's just let this load. You don't want to have all your info condensed and squished into one section. When you do that, people won't read it. This is a great example. Right over here. All right, we have 4 distinct sections here. This looks like a newspaper, and this does not fly. You know, maybe 20 years ago you could get away with this, but people these days, their attention span is so narrow. You really need to space out the data and make it super clear and super obvious. All right, this is way too much info in one section. It's overwhelming. It's just going to get scrolled through, right? People might read the heading and they're just going to scroll through. So coming back over here, even though key text is in these paragraphs, you need to assume no one is going to read these paragraphs. Therefore, you need to have lots of little sections with headings. For instance, over here at Life with Paint, great example, not sure about painting. So we've got objections. Not sure about us, right? Not sure about us. You could word it differently, but that's the concept, right? Like, not ready, you know, not ready to rock, not ready to buy from us. Don't trust us yet, however you want to word it. And then you put in what's going to be on their mind. What is on their mind? This is a painting company, so their vibe might be, you know, I've never painted before. I'm no artist. I've never held a brush in my life, right? Another one might be, well, okay, but I don't think it's going to be fun. I think I'd rather watch Netflix. And then another one is, well, I just don't want to go home. I mean, I just don't want to leave home. So these are objections. People will have objections over here at the Vitamin Company. And you need to do some research to figure them out. Talk to salespeople. It'll be whatever the prospects tell salespeople when they don't want to buy. Yeah, you know, try not to go for price because everyone objects with price. But you could try to get a little more creative. It's too expensive. You could use that, right? You could do too expensive. But is it really? Come on now. It's vitamins. It's $10. You know, who cares? It's not the price. I think more poignant points would be, I've never heard of you before. Where do you get, how do I know your stuff is quality, right? Those are 2 good ones. Blah, 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 right? So let's get some objection handlings, and then you put the handling, put the objection here, and the handling there. Bam, 1, 2, 3. Very, presented very digestible, wouldn't you say? I mean, you look at this section, and I'd say a lot more people are going to consume this than they would consume this. Would you agree with me? I think if I was on this site, I would read this heading and then I would keep scrolling through. Whereas if I'm here, I'm at least going to read this heading and these 3 subheadings. That's better, you know. It's not perfect, but that's how people are on the web. Let's get the objections going. Other things, I would like to see some content. The idea is, if you can establish yourself, as they like to say, as a thought leader, right, or an authority voice, that's what they call them, an authority voice or a thought leader, you do that by creating really good content and giving it away for free, right? For instance, with G&G, that could be a downloadable file, a little PDF, which talks about the 5 most dangerous health trends in 2021 with our youth, right? They're on a diet of French fries and Coke and burgers, whatever. You know, it's free information which is useful and important to your prospect, and you're giving it away. So not only are you selling stuff, right? You're selling products, but you're also giving away very important info. And they could be blog posts. It doesn't have to be, you know, downloadable PDFs. But whatever it is, A website should have that. It goes a very long way in building rapport with the prospect. It helps speed the whole thing up. If you're always just sell, 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 without giving any knowledge, then, well, I think it's more effective if you also give knowledge, because you are then positioning yourself as an authority, and then you're helping people, and then they're going to associate you with people who know their stuff and people who they listen to, and then they're much more likely to purchase from you. So that would be a really good move for a company like this to build more trust, build more rapport. Let's get some either blog posts or, PDF downloads with very important health information regarding supplements and diet in 2021. They can talk about the obesity rate. It doesn't even all have to be about vitamins. It could be about nutrition, and at the end they tie it in with vitamins, right? So that's that. There's quite a bit more we could add to the homepage. As you can see, there's nothing, it looks fine when you look at it, but there's a whole lot more that could be added to improve its performance. So if you have a store, you're selling stuff online, a lot of what I just said will apply to that, to be honest. Quite a bit, nearly all of it. So take what we discussed and apply it to your website, make those sections, and then you're going to increase the conversion rate from visits to leads or sales. But now realize there's more to it than just the landing page. There's also, are you sending the right traffic? Is it the right people you're sending? Are you selling something that they want? Are you using the right wording, right? So there's several other factors, but one of the key ones, all roads lead to your website. So your website has to be very finely crafted. If you want your website finely crafted, come on down to massiveeffectmarketing.com. We'll take your website from this to this. It'll be amazing. And we've been doing it for ages and ages, and we know our stuff. So come on down, massiveeffectmarketing.com. And if you have a website, you can put it in the comments. Put the URL to your site in the comments. We'll take a look, give you some strategies, tell you what you can fix, tell you what's good, what doesn't need to be fixed. Then you can have some certainty and not be pulling your hair out wondering what is working and what isn't working, right? We can give you some judgment on that. So come on down, let us know, and we'd love to help you out. All right, so until then, thank you very much and take care.